Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and we are in Minecraft today, picking up where we left off on the abandoned farmstead, and I think we're going to get to work on the fields today. I've been spending a lot of time on the buildings, and before I do a lot of the landscaping in between the buildings, I want to make sure we have the fields and walls and stuff all sorted out. So that's the plan. I hope everyone's having a good Friday so far. I have a subscription to thank. Loki 2, not 1, but 2. Has subscribed at tier 1. That's 4 months for Loki. Currently on a 4-month streak. Thank you ever so much. And then, of course, goes towards the plus points for January. And where are we right now? Actually, if I go to my channel, I can probably find out. I wish they would tell me in my Twitch stats, but they don't. They don't. Currently, we are at 13 out of 100. So the goal is to have 100 plus points by the end of January, and then repeat that for February and March. And if we can do that, then my revenue ratio gets bumped from 50-50 to 60-40 in my favor for the next year, which would be huge. It would be a really great way to support the stream. So if you are so inclined to support me here on Twitch, then you could end up supporting in more ways than one over the next 12 months by simply subscribing for 1 month at a time over the next 3 months. And that's a rolling thing. So like if we don't hit it in January, then we can try for February, March, April. We just kind of go until we hit that goal for the 3 months in a row. But thank you ever so much. And if Twitch is not your bag, you can also check out Patreon. You can join the Discord that way. You can join the Discord if you do a tier 1 sub or a Prime sub. Unfortunately, Prime and gift subs don't count towards the plus goal. It's only the tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, but I very much appreciate it. I hope you are all enjoying the week and are ready for some Minecraft. It's been mostly Stardew Valley this week, actually. We were supposed to do Satisfactory yesterday, but I couldn't log in. I have been able to log in. I have been able to update the game. So the next time I have an opportunity to play Satisfactory will probably be next week. But I do like the... I'll say like the indie vibe we've got going early in the week. So maybe Tuesdays and Wednesdays I might try some other games. I do want to continue with Stardew Valley. We've only just completed spring, so that's coming, going on to summer. So we'll be returning to Stardew Valley for sure. But for now, the weekends are usually Minecraft, just because, well, 1, I have to talk about it on the Spun Chunks. 2, Minecraft is just a really good game to play on the weekends. There tends to be more viewers for it. And also, I really like Minecraft. So there's that. So let's switch over here and get ourselves back to the game. Oh, it's nighttime. There might be monsters around. Oh no, we're okay. Otter, good to see you. Linguini, hello. Hope you're having a good day. Welcome back. So we are still in the process of removing some of the old tables and chairs. I feel like... No, you know what it is? It's my new monitor. My screen is feeling really big because I've just got a new monitor in a new monitor position. So it's feeling like I've got an awful lot going on here. Very wide. I like it. I don't like skeletons though. Or bone meal. No complaints there. I don't know where the rotten flesh came from. So, the last couple of streams here on the server, we've been working on this abandoned farm. We completed the interior. It looks really cool with shaders on because you can see the light coming in. We also tried to do some light design. So, like, we tried to make some lighter blocks here under the hole in the roof to kind of fake that there's more light at that end of the build than there is at this end of the build, so it's kind of darker in there. We don't have a window dressing on that one yet. There will be a pass that we'll do over the entirety of this place. Obviously, I've not done any of the textures here. The cliffs are not done because I really want to focus on the walls here. This is what we're going to be doing today, is getting some of these walls done. We already have the pathing in, and we might tweak that a little bit. I also have to put in the rows of where the crops used to be before we actually do the overgrowth of the crops. And I'll do like a little proof of concept, and then we'll have to like fill in these areas as well. Can also talk about the experience in Stardew? What do you mean? You want me to talk about Stardew now while I'm playing Minecraft? Have you considered dead brain coral for a ruined house? Yes. The problem with that is that it is usually too red. So I'll just turn off my shaders here and get my frame rate back. Do I have coral out? I do. Yeah, so dead brain coral is the one that you mentioned. But then if you look at that next to, I think it does work next to pale oak logs, because these are kind of warm. But then the basalt that I was using is not so much. So if we take these and pair them next to each other. So moss, very green. So you'd have to work with that very carefully. Then we've got this, which is closer. It's not bad. This works good with the pale oak, and then does not work very well with that. There's a lot of blue in this, and a lot of blue in this. So it's closer to the pale oak. The problem, of course, is that the pattern is like it doesn't work with the texture. So you'd have to try to find like another almost directional. I mean, fire coral might be okay. I don't know about the bubble coral. Fire coral is probably better texture-wise. And bubble coral is not bad. I would say the bubble and the fire are probably better than the brain. Sentences that you can only really get away with when you're playing Minecraft. But yeah, it depends, I guess, on your tolerance for color temperature shifts. I have a low tolerance for color temperature shifts. Unless it's intentional, like unless I'm planning on doing it. So I'm going to need some coarse dirt. I'm going to need... It's probably going to be best to just use the shovel to do the rows. So essentially what I'm going to do, I'll show you over this way. So this is the kind of tiered farm look I want to go for, where we have rows of stuff in between, right? And then we have essentially like a 2-wide crop row, because then you can access it from this side, and then you can access it from this side, allowing you to have like this kind of 2-wide pattern. And after we have that pattern, I'm going to be able to go through and instead of just planting wheat, we'll plant like bushes and grasses and things. I've got a funny feeling we're going to need some other textures as well. We might try to go a little bit lighter. Something that might be... Oh, do I have enough packed mud? I probably don't. Let's go get the mud block. Get mushroom. I don't know if we're going to go darker or lighter. Probably going to end up going darker, but we'll see. I got a funny feeling I'm going to use a lot more mud, so let's go get the mud block. Or the mud box of mud blocks. Packed mud blocks. Too many names. Too similar. You all know what I mean. I don't think I saw the ruin until the last Spawn Chunks podcast. Looks really cool. Thanks, Obu. Appreciate that. I'm really happy with the way it's come out. It was a decision made based on seeing the textures and having not tried anything. I think some people are aware that I don't do any creative building. I don't really prep for anything. Usually what I do is I'll prep some research. Like I'll look at, oh, those could be handy too. Let's bring those. I'll look at reference material, but I won't like plan out a palette. I like to do that live on stream. I think it's a unique thing that I do. I think that sometimes people can get frustrated when they're trying to watch someone play Minecraft and learn some things, but then on a YouTube video there's like a giant cut and what you missed was like a 5-hour play session of them like working through color palettes and stuff. And I like to talk about that kind of stuff because I have an art background, so it's nice to go over the textures and the colors and things like that. Otter, you prefer the fire coral? Yeah. Yeah, I think the fire coral worked best with the pale oak bark. Pale oak log? Pale oak log. Yeah. Pale oak wood. I don't know what they call these things. If only I did a Minecraft podcast that I covered this weekly, where I would get the names right. I don't get the names right on the show either. It's the Spawn Chunks, though. You can find it on YouTube. Hashtag self-plug. Okay, get these in here. This is mangrove roots. Mud box. I'm gonna grab more of those. And that is dripstone. Don't know if we'll need that, but we might as well bring it just in case. And I'll just use the shovel for textures. Okay, so this feels pretty sparse. Here, not sure what would happen there. I feel like this would probably be a little wider. This would probably be more like a staging area, like there might be like a barrel here or something. So I'll put like a quick placeholder there. Can't see really much going on down here. This actually might be worth having a higher wall. So we could look at that too. You know, that might be a good idea. Let's get our stone and our tuff as well. Cobblestone, I guess I should say. Cobblestone. I don't think I want to get too into texturing. MindTripMedia with 100 bits and the lurk. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. I've been thinking about doing some pixel art emotes. I've been researching a lot of pixel art recently, and I used to do the art streams live, but unfortunately my Mac is now too slow. So if I try to stream and draw at the same time, it's a really frustrating experience. So I might pick up Apple Pencil and try drawing on my iPad Pro. I know Steven did that on his stream. And I have the top-down camera set up for the Lego, so I could easily do like pixel art stuff. Although pixel art, I mean, I could use a tablet rather than a Cintiq and just like draw right here on this. So I'm thinking that this could come to here. And then this could just go up. Sort of like that. And it doesn't have to be 2 blocks. We might be able to make it like 1.5. But then here, we could have crop row like that. And so then this would be the dirt. I feel that feels all right. Whoops. Yeah. Not bad. This might be a little bit better off being solid like that. Just like a bit more of a landing or a place where people would set themselves up. Now these parts become a little trickier because this is going to be, right, this is probably where it would end. So we would probably only have a little patch here. But then at this point, it would be cool if there was a way to get down to the next tier, which I thought I had. Yeah, there's a staircase there. So maybe over here, there's going to be something. Seems to make sense. Yeah. Oh, there's a cave in here somewhere. Don't know why, but seeing these specific blocks has inspired me to either draw or build a castle. Hey, that's good. I'm happy to inspire. So it looks like we've got 2 tiers on this next part here, which I did not anticipate. So to make this worthwhile, we may have to think about... Oh, I don't think I finished the pathing. That makes sense. Before I get carried away there, I should probably make sure that these things are big enough. Right? Like that doesn't feel long enough. I feel like this has to be brought out this way. This is a lot. I'm not sure whether I'm just sitting too close or what. Should be getting a good, yeah, high frame rate. Thanks to the new monitor.
How do you make sure streamers answer your questions? Pay for it, of course. Yay, capitalism. What do you think of the new snapshot blocks?
The new snapshot blocks. They are... I haven't seen them in game. I've seen them on Exumavoid's video. If you're not already following Exumavoid on YouTube, then check him out. And thank you for the sticker, Loki. Appreciate the joke and the support. 200 bits for a TTS sticker is always lovely. I like the wildflowers. I was asking for wildflowers. We have mentioned on the Spawn Chunks podcast a number of times how flexible pink petals are and how we would love to have that mechanic of pink petals in something else. Right now we're doing stuff like this, but over here you can see just how organic the pink petals look when you want to include them in a garden. Like you can speckle things, you can dither, you can create borders, you can intermingle them, you can make it look like things are overgrowing the edges of other blocks. Like it's just anything that you can put a flower on, you can put a pink petal on. And I don't know if that's true of the leaf litter. If you can put leaf litter on stone, then that would be fantastic. I really hope you can, because it would make sense, because leaf litter doesn't have to be planted, right? Like it's just supposed to be on the ground. I think the name leaf litter is terrible. I know what they were trying to do with the alliteration. I think it's bad. I think it just should be called fallen leaves, or like brown leaves or something. Dead leaves. Just leaf litter. It reminds me of kitty litter, and litter in general is a bad word these days. You don't want to be a litterer or a person who litters. That's bad, you know, for all kinds of reasons. It doesn't have a good vibe to it. I think, you know, fallen leaves or something would be better. What was the other textures that they announced? That was it, right? It was just the flowers and the leaf litter. Oh, the new sounds for the iron blocks and the new recipe for lodestones. And we'll be using lodestones in Westhill. I have not been using them because, of course, they used to have netherite in them, and now they don't. Loki had asked about blocks, but yeah, pigs. I don't care. I mean, they're fine. It's good to have variants. I'm not complaining, but new pig variants were not on my bingo card. Like that's not something that I was really looking for specifically. I guess we could just have this part here. We'd want to continue the angle of going that way. So and then we want to continue that. So that's 1. We'll go 3, I guess. I think I was doing 3 on the long side and then 2 on the short side. I should just bring a bed out here with me. Oh, do I not have an extra bed? Really? I guess I don't. Huh. Normally I have more than one. I know I have more than one. I'm gonna go get one. Maca 314314, welcome in. Is that a reference to pie? We do like pie. How'd you find the stream? Warm and cold. I don't know if it was cold, but there's like a furry pig, furry-ish, and then yeah, it was like a brownish warm Warm pig. That's where they're found. They're fine. They're good textures. The problem I think that they have when they update new textures for animals like that is that the new ones look great and it makes the old ones look dumb. I think when they do that, I don't think it would be bad for them to revisit the old texture. I like the iterative process of playing Minecraft, and I think that the development process should also be iterative. I know that there's merchandise and stuff tied to pigs, but like that just makes it more unique. I think that a new pig texture or a new sheep texture would be fine. Some of the textures are really bad. Like I really don't like the cow textures. I really feel like they could do, I mean, like knowing how cozy the Minecraft community is in terms of the general kind of feedback, Highland cows, like furry cows in Minecraft would grab a lot of people's attention. So I think that if they're going to do new pig textures, like that kind of beckons when are they going to do it for cows? And if they're going to do it for cows, are they going to make the cow texture better? Or are they simply going to recolor the existing texture? Which I think would be a mistake. I think that cows could be updated to be more cow-like. Think about how cool the frogs are, or the bees, and you compare them to like the sheep, the cows, and the pigs. Chickens, same thing. I mean, the chickens look like ducks. You know? I understand that the chicken is kind of iconic, but I feel like you could still keep the duck-like beak and change the body a little bit to sell it better as a chicken. Or you could just add chickens to Minecraft with a new model and then add ducks and have it be the new chicken model. I don't know. I've always liked those mod packs that add like a little bit more, or mod packs, I guess texture packs, that add a little bit more geometry. Like not a lot, not the ones that go crazy, but the ones that kind of take it to the next level. It usually helps. Duckins, yeah. I've heard that before. So I feel like I might want to add a layer here so that this is longer. So I'm going to try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. I don't know that I've done a farm like this where there's been 2 tiers. This is kind of cool. Oh, that's interesting. I never thought about that. We have to accommodate for the path. It's 1, 2. I find with these things it's best to just rough them in quickly and then return to them later and see what you can come up with. Refine it a little bit. Oops. And if that's a weird shape, we can always try changing the rock position. Now where does that touch? That's weird. I guess this could be over one. Something is not adding up. Yeah, see here I think I was trying to figure out a place to go down, so we might want to do that here. And I think this was not supposed to be farmland. This was just supposed to be the edge of the property. But that looks okay. I think I've gotten too far over this way, but maybe it's just the map giving me weird. Yeah, it's registering these slabs as the same color as that, but that'll change when I put in a different color, so it'll be easier to see. Still put in more this way though. So then this feels kind of strange, so maybe this whole place would be a way down. Right, and then yeah, that makes sense. I feel like the angles on these are a little bit funny, but not completely nonsensical. It starts to look really funny there, but it's only because slabs are reading it as a different color. Yeah, there's a lot of coarse dirt. It's really deceptive when you do these farmlands. How much coarse dirt there is. It's the same everywhere. It's how I've done it in all the other places. But you don't notice it as much once the crops are growing up. Dad from Bear, yeah, the leaf litter, spruce poop. I something that I did also notice that Exumavoid brought up was that leaves will fall from everything, including spruce leaves, which don't fall because they're needles. So like, I really feel like Mojang should be just like, well, let's not have the spruce needles fall, right? I also think there should be like a restriction, like maybe if it's too far off the ground, like I have it right now. This is a mod where you've got leaves falling. But the issue with this mod is that it just falls from all leaves. You can have some settings and change it, but you also have leaves that fall from your vines. Pretty sure. I think it has to be 3 blocks above the ground. We sit here long enough, it will eventually show an animation. Yeah, see? So I think it will fall from that one, but not this one. So it would be cool if there was a way to like have the leaves fall within a certain proximity of wood blocks, although I guess that really wouldn't matter. I mean, these are stripped, but if it was a natural log, I don't know that I have one nearby. So that could be a fun way to kind of restrict it. For example, like obviously this one has got, you know, natural logs. So these leaves would all have falling leaves. I feel like there is a control in the mod though. I think it's just called falling leaves. Yep. Enabled value, leaf size, leaf span, spawn rate, snowflake spawn rate, pale oak leaf spawn rate. So you can control. Drop leaves from player placed blocks. There you go. Yes or no. So we could turn those off. The problem is, of course, I've done custom trees, so I want that to be on. Drop some leaves when hitting a block. Vertical space. Needed vertical space in half blocks. So it needs 4, so it needs a value of 2. So we could reduce that or increase that, and that would help with that kind of stuff. So that's cool. But those are the kind of things that I hope when they add falling leaves to Minecraft, they give the players control over, because I think that would be nice to have, right? Rather than just saying, here's the falling leaves, they're everywhere, and then making players do data packs that have to get updated, that have to get, you know, coded, and everybody does it differently. Like just give us a slider. Just give us an in-game slider. I don't know how hard that is to code. I feel like it should be pretty straightforward. And I think for accessibility, they should at least have an on-off button. I imagine for performance, they will have an on-off button for that as well. Right. I think that's pretty good. I feel it's a little sparse over here, but that's because this is the down section. Maybe this could be. Yeah. All right, let's do a quick example of what this is going to look like. My inventory is pretty full. I probably didn't need all of these blocks right now. We'll do moss. Probably just moss and grass. And definitely these. Mangrove. Jungle. I don't know which of these is going to look the best. Certainly birch. And acacia maybe. What else could we put on the ground that's going to look like stuff? I guess. Do I have? I have one. Surely I have more wheat seeds kicking around. Yes. So I'd say this is probably a good candidate for it. So we'll just do this quickly. I guess I need a hoe first. So what I'm thinking is that we'll have a couple of these still be wheat, but stuff like maybe this. Now I think eventually that farmland will go away. Maybe not birch. I think maybe the mangrove will be better. Mm-hmm. And then we'll do something underneath these to make them look a little bit nicer. Same thing here. We could probably, because that's going to turn into something bright. So maybe we'll do roots there. Trying to think about what else you can put. You could just put coarse dirt here. Now I guess here we could try maybe some moss. Maybe that would be good here too. The problem with this is that there's going to be a lot of block variations. So then maybe here we can go with something that doesn't have a plant on it. Hard to see in the dark. Dad from Bear, with your agriculture background, the spruce needs to be truer. Yeah. I think also too, like Minecraft is used for education and stuff like that. So I guess we can go with maybe 1 wheat there. And then we'll change this one. This is where I probably want to put another bush. I'm going to be constantly jumping up and down here. I wish we could limit crops. Like I wish we could keep them from growing a certain point in the same way that you can snip vines. It would be really nice to be able to right click that and keep it that height. Unfortunately, we can't. I feel like that's pretty good. Looks kind of like an overgrown field. I'm not sure what other vegetables we're going to do. We could probably do... I'm not sure whether wheat is going to be the one that's up here. Maybe wheat should be down there because there's more of it. And then we could do like smaller crops up here, like carrots or beetroot or something. Where did I do? I feel like I did a combination of beetroot and flowering azalea. I feel like I did it over here somewhere. Maybe not. Oh, it was allium. Oh, the beetroot's up here. Right. Right. I could have sworn I did that somewhere else. We could also do wildflowers too. We could also do like the two tall flowers. What would be a good flower for that? There's not many to choose from. But you can sort of see how even from up here it sort of looks kind of like dead. Always room for a pink flower. That would go good with the azalea if I decided to go that route. I think the trick is going to be to make sure we're layering stuff in front of the wheat. Not much variety happening here. It'd be nice if I had like a jungle go well with these. Yeah, it works. And then around here, we would just do things like this. Break it up a bit. Of course, I put a lot of those other blocks away. definitely feel like the way to do this is to kind of blanket it first and then kind of pick the spots that you want to punch out. I feel like some moss would be better there. And I haven't really done much with moss carpet, so I could try that too. That would be a really good spot for rooted dirt. Would an old rotting windmill look out of place near a countryside which is centered around a castle? That really just depends on the story that you want to tell, right? Like any building can be kind of old and run down. I mean, this is next to some vibrant farms. Like, you know, we've got very pink or a very orange pumpkin farm here, and then like a really vibrant lilac farm over here. There's also what are they? Can't remember the name of them right now. Pitch plants in the middle. They don't show up on the map, but they, you know, it's very, very colorful. And then over here, I mean, it's good that it's off to the side. If it was in the middle, like I don't think this kind of abandoned farm would work really good here. I think it looks good on the edge, because then we can kind of take that overgrowth down to the riverbank. Whereas here, this is going to be a vibrant apiary, a bee farm. So I'm going to probably have some yellows and stuff in here, because I've not worked much with yellows on this side. We've got a lot of yellows and like warmer tones over here. Then this is a lot cooler, except for this. So I'd like to warm this up a bit. Rooted dirt. What are the other blocks that you can plant grass on? It's moss, grass, dirt, and coarse dirt. But dirt just turns into grass. Pale moss, but that won't really work down there. That's it, right? Podzol. Mud. Muddy mangrove roots. That's really it. Don't know about that one. Maybe mushroom? Which I put back. Oh, you can put grass on rooted dirt too, right? Of course. That makes sense. I think I'm going to make this feel like dried out as a path, as opposed to like muddy. I think this has to be, not bring it. It is tough when you're doing textures that have a lot of variation in them. I really feel the inventory crunch happens at that point. That's better. I said before that I really want like a darker brown. Maybe we'll have to go get some terracotta. Once we start texturing, it's going to be very easy to lose the paths. So I want to do the other stuff first. All right, I need to take a short break. It is about that time. I do this once an hour for anybody that's new. It gives me a chance to refresh the coffee. Grab myself a little bit of a snack. Maybe you should too. Stay hydrated. Make sure you're drinking water. All that kind of good stuff. And maybe even grab a friend. We're trying to grow the stream. So if you can recommend my channel to someone that you think would like it, I would very much appreciate it. That is totally free and a great way to support any of your favorite streamers. But yeah, let me know who you bring in. And I will be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. The amount of fine detail in this blocky game is amazing. Thanks so much. Happy, that's really kind of you to say. I always check messages after the break, so make sure I don't miss anything. Really feeling like... I wish my desk would allow my monitor to be a little bit farther from me. Don't quite have the room. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty good. Don't know about this one here. Might have to go with grass for that one. Actually, what I should do is maybe bring some moss carpet. Or we could put a bush there. Or both. Seem to be bouncing between mangrove and jungle. I don't seem to, the other ones. I can try acacia maybe. It's not very dense. It's the only issue. Find jungle and mangrove to be more dense. Oh, I think I like the bush. We could also start messing with some denser foliage too, so we could have maybe some dark stuff down here. Just to add a little bit more going on. Should try the Ethos setup. The monitors become microscopic with how far away it would be. Yeah. I put a picture of my setup in Discord, I think. I think I shared that the other day. I think it's in the general channel. Yeah. Yeah, the 8th. The only issue I have right now is, I think I mentioned before, that my desk is not level. And so what happens is, I'm not sure if you can see this on the camera, but normally when you swivel a monitor on an arm, it goes left and right evenly. But because my desk isn't level, the monitor is down like that. So when you swing it left and right, it tilts. So like it has like a curve to it. So, and it's not the arm, well, I should say it is the arm, but it's the whole desk is bending. So like I've got no way to like strap the monitor arm vertical. I have a level, like I could do it, but then I'd have to like attach it to the wall. So I have to figure out how to, I'm not sure whether it's I feel like the monitor arm is rated for the load. Like it's okay for the weight. The problem is that the desk, I think, is not able to handle it. The desk is not thick enough. So I have to, I mean, it's not a desk. It's a board table. Like it's a folding table. So I need to get a proper desk. That's the main issue. But like one step at a time, right? And the monitor, it's not like it's a little bit unlevel, but not enough that I'm noticing. The issue is that in order to move the monitors farther away from me, it's a wider swing on the arm, and then that unevenness becomes more apparent. Like the farther from the axis that you get, the steeper the angle of the monitor, and then it becomes like, oh yeah, that's crooked. We can't have that. I really wish my monitor arm, which I will do in the future if I buy another monitor arm, it doesn't have a rotate feature. you can rotate the monitors 90 degrees by removing the bracket, rotating the bracket, but you can't just like twist them a little bit. And I would really like that feature because that would be a problem solver. Like I could put the monitor the way that I want, and then I could just like a steering wheel, I could just like turn it 5 degrees back and it would be fine. Yeah, the desk change is something I need to do. I really like what, who was it in my Discord? Is it M-Dog? No. That penguin dude shared their desk, and it's like a big piece of butcher block on 2 IKEA shelving units. And I think that's a really cool idea. It's very clean. I wouldn't want mine to be white, but like, I like that idea. I wouldn't do something as crazy as butcher block. I'd go with something a little bit more affordable. Also, this isn't a permanent space. Like I'm in an apartment, so when I eventually move, I'll want to be able to take it with me easily. So we'll change that into a barrel. And then I guess I need more or less from the wheat. I think we're gonna get rid of this one. I feel like I want something a little bit more dense. I don't know if a fern is going to cut it. If I do that, I think I have to layer this. Yeah, I would really like to have not full grown wheat. I feel like it would be nice to have like little buds of it, but I don't know how we do that. Otter, you've got to run. Thanks very much for being here. Always appreciate you coming by to say hi. Have a good day. Now that I have a giant monitor, I really want to change the chat text size. How do I do that? Weirdly, it's not in chat settings. Oh, chat appearance. Here we go. That's too big. Can't go in between. All right. Got that done. It's a little bit bigger, better. Evil Shadow, hello. Been a while. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing good, thanks. Doing well. I think I just put grass there. I wish I had another option for slabs too. It'd be nice. I think that's a pretty decent proof of concept. think that's about how much wheat I would want to show up. Like, I don't think I want any more than that. If anything, that one might be a little bit much. Right, so let that grow up, and then we can come back through. Now the question is, do we want to do wheat the entire field? I kind of like that look. I think it's also a nice contrast to how gray everything is up here. And if we did a lower crop, you wouldn't be able to see it. So wheat might be the simple answer. Plus it'll balance off what's happening over here. The only thing I can think of is maybe when we get down to the lower tiers, we do something else. And this is just going to go in the opposite direction. It looks forgotten. Thanks, Sandy. That's the vibe. That's what I was hoping for. Noticing the nighttime a lot earlier on the monitor. I might have to change the calibration a bit. I did notice that the colors were better on this monitor than my other one, but it is perhaps a little bit darker. I could also just be noticing it because, of course, now that I'm on camera for streams, I have to have a lot more lights on. Speaking of, I'm a little dark, maybe. Oop, didn't mean to bang the mic. Having a remote control for the lights is nice. I don't know if I'm going in the right direction for this. This is like an S-curve. Maybe I should be going the other way. Yeah. Should be going the other way. This should be more straight. So then these are going to go that way. Then this is probably not even really big enough to have anything. Something else I noticed when I was doing these before is that you end up with far less rows of farmland than you really anticipate. Or far fewer, I guess I should say. Evil Shadow, thank you. Yeah. So we're doing like a, what used to be a farmland, like a nice farm that's been overgrown and neglected. You know, holes in the roof, overgrown moss. But then the field is also going to be the same sort of vibe. So I'm trying to pick the less saturated, or I guess the darker color greens as best I can. The thing is, like, you kind of have to plan it out before you ruin it, if that makes sense. Right, now here, try to offset them a little bit. A little bit more interesting. I feel like here would be a good spot to go down. Yeah. A little straight. A little bit better. Whoops. And we'll, of course, work in some other textures down here, too. Help make it feel a little bit nicer. So this side just has the two, or I just didn't finish the wall? I guess I just didn't finish the wall. Yeah. Totally did not finish the wall. Oh, there is no wall. Okay. I intentionally did not finish the wall, but I also did not trim the grass at all. So funny how you have to take things down to flat before you can make them look overgrown. You have to like remove all the overgrowth. It's a weird thing. I don't mind if this becomes steeper. I feel like we'll just round this out more. Kind of cup it off. That's a little straight, so maybe we'll do that. And then again, just to kind of keep with the whole transition bit here. Although this is a new field, so I can probably just start right from here. This will just be the same thing. Oh, I don't know about that. I think it's these two that are starting to feel a little strange. I think this one's going to have to get removed. And this is kind of why I think I've been drawn to pixel art lately. And it's funny because like if you had listened to my podcasts over the last month, when someone's like, hey Joel, what kind of other games do you want to play? I never want to play pixel art games because I feel like I get enough pixel art games from Minecraft. But there is something really satisfying about the puzzle in Minecraft of trying to find the right textures. This could probably even be green. Yeah, I think the only thing that's bugging me now is this stuff up here. Feels like it's at a funny angle. Maybe it's because it's too close. Oh, that doesn't work. I mean, these are going to have to drop anyway. Yeah, that works, I think. This becomes a very large space. So one of the things I like to do is try to create some hue shifts as you go down different levels. That way when you have this large kind of run of coarse dirt, you can have some contrast. Now normally my coarse dirt texture has a pebble texture in it, and I'm not been able to get that to work in 1.21.4. So we're missing out on that. But we can also throw in things like a tough block. Like, for example, right here. Right, all of a sudden you see the level change. Shame there's no dead crop texture to add to it. Yeah. Well, we could do dead coral, but that's pretty gray. It's not brown. I mean, I could do a dead bush if I have a dead bush. Not in there. I might have one somewhere. It's a good question. The question is like, do I have one or four? Or do I have like a dozen? I've got a stack. I don't see there's anything else here. Berry bushes might look okay. We'll bring this back out. The other thing that would be cool would be pitcher plants. If we could stop them from growing, we had like the little rooted pitcher plant things. Again, I really wish we could stop crop growth. It's a kind of thing where like you could add that mechanic to the game. It would be a single mechanic to add to the game, right-clicking on crops with a shear to stop them from growing. But you would add however many textures there are per crop or per plant that has phases to the game. Like you would open up exponential, not exponential, but there would be probably a dozen or 2 dozen different textures that would be available by changing one mechanic. Yeah, exactly, Dan. The texture is already there. It exists. It just doesn't exist for a time that the player can control. What do I not need in my inventory? We've not been using the birch. and acacia. I don't need 2 stacks of grass. So I feel like the berry bushes are going to be a little bit too minty. They might not work very well. Probably do this here. Oh, that has to be regular dirt. Let's go with grass. Actually, let's go with a fern here. I tend to pay attention to where they place, and if it's fairly central, I feel like a fern is a good way to go. Oops. I feel like the dead bush works. It sort of looks like dead wheat. I wish we could actually plant 2 high ferns. So I'm not sure about that one. The dead bush works though. Can you plant these there? You can. I think maybe yes, but maybe what we'll do is we'll bring them closer to the riverbank so it doesn't look like mixed crops. I think it would be cool if we had those maybe on the lower parts. Plus, then I'm not going to be smacking myself into them all the time. I don't need the wheat. Where do I put that? Go. To keep this authentic too, I kind of have to not put any lights out here. Because why would there be lanterns that would be upkept in an abandoned farm, right? Yeah, I think the dead bush is very useful. I don't know about dead coral. Dead coral might be kind of gray. I think I already have some. Yeah. Dead bubble, dead fire coral. brain coral. Most of the time you want to try to keep this alive with like a horn coral might be better. Fire, brain, horn. Bubble I think is too low. Tube is not the right thing. And the fans I don't think would work either. Let's make one of these back here. I don't know what you can and cannot put coral on. So the good news is it doesn't have to be grass. Like you could put it on anything. Like it doesn't have to be a planted thing, which is nice. That is one of the corals. Dead fire. I feel like horn coral is the one that's gonna work. I think I need a silk touch for this. Yeah. It's the lowest, which means we're gonna be it's gonna be easier to kind of cover it up. I don't know. So they're essentially the same hue. And they're warm. I just don't know if it looks like dead wheat. Yeah, so that kind of color, as far as plants goes, is usually like I think about it like dead wood. So but they don't look like twigs on the ground. They just look like plants. So you could probably use these kind of things if you were making like a dead tree and you wanted to have stuff like that on the tree. I think that could maybe work. You have to find the right color. Do I have any moss on the ground? Yeah, see, that's very green. It goes fairly well with the tuff, though. So I think it's probably a no on the dead coral. For this build, I think it's the right idea. I just don't think it works for this build. A stray berry bush somewhere. Oh yeah, we just tried it. It's fine. It's just a little distracting because of the reds. But I was thinking, because we've got a taiga biome on the other side there, if I was to go and have like a couple of berry bushes over here. Right? Then it would make sense for me to then work them in over on this side. Whoops. See, I think down here they feel a little bit more natural. Up here it was kind of loud. Oh yeah, no, I figured you were out, Sandy. I'm not liking this very much. Hmm. So just for example, try that again. Right? I feel like it looks like a weird mix of crops. The brown bushes are definitely helpful though. They look good on the mangrove roots too. I feel like we could have some fun here with some bushes. Actually, maybe we could fudge that a little bit. Yeah, maybe I could crumble the wall there. I haven't done anything with the wall yet. Really would like that to have some grass. So here's where I would like to be able to put grass, like Pixelriffs was saying, putting grass on stone, but we have pale moss. This is something we talked about on the Spawn Chunks podcast on Monday. And you can grab the pale moss. I think we're done with the berry bushes for now. And see what this looks like. So you can get rid of this. Put a gray block there. But you can also grass on it. So it looks more like grass kind of growing out of stone. It's a little bit tricky. It'd be better off in a path, but I think that's still a decent way to do it, especially if we can come in here with like a moss carpet. Man, definitely need to work out the stairs. Right, so this whole thing could end up being very dark. And like the whole wall maybe has fallen down in this area. Do some undergrowth. Oops. I really find these muddy mangrove roots handy for getting some really good like depth and texture and stuff going on. So it's subtle, but like it really feels deep and dark in there. And it means you don't have to worry about texturing what's behind it. You just kind of give the illusion of like there's just lots of roots and things covering this entire wall, you know? Yeah, that works pretty well. It's a little square, like we'd want to maybe expand it a little bit. We could also put some vines down there too. Some extra layers. And because we've got vine growth turned off, they're not going to spread all over the place. We're just going to put them where we want them. So like, for example, oh, that's a little bit linear. Let's try that. They're a little bright. Yeah, they're not quite as nice underneath there as I thought. They help that transition though. The moss goes better into the... This just now looks like a dense leaf block instead of like a weird moss block. Trying to think about what we could do down here. I guess maybe like a spruce button or something would be good. Or a dark oak button to make it look like roots. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate the heads up. Let's do start there. Now, I need to get rid of some of these. I'd say maybe this is the one. I don't have any bone meal. Always running out of something. Oops. And I don't have any more of those rooted dirts either. Muddy mangrove roots. I don't know. I wish they would come up with shorter names for everything. I do feel like we tend to shorten everything just by nature, especially if you're a content creator and you've got to talk about it. Yeah, there's not much we can layer. Otter, welcome back. Whoops. I think we've maybe overdone it there. And I think maybe what we need to do here is switch these up. Whoops. What do you need for that? Shears? Hmm. Yep. I think we're gonna have to go with something else here. Oh, I know. We can go. Actually, we can probably keep the dark block and go with the bush. And we'll go with jungle, I guess. Yeah, that's better. Obviously, this will all start to sing a little bit better when we have a better wall. We'll be able to have some slabs and stairs and like have it go kind of like down into these places where there's a lot of overgrowth and then have it come back up and maybe have some slabs. It will be, you know, like having a couple of slabs here will help make it feel like it's got an edge, that kind of thing. Giving you lots of ideas, Otter. That's great. I am happy to help. So that's what it's going to look like, I think. I think we're going to need to have more texture on the wall and more activity on the wall to have it be sold. Obviously, we'll have to texture up the pathways as well. And weirdly, I find sometimes even just the map can give you kind of like a vibe of what it's going to look like. I feel like there's the little flecks of yellow are okay. It doesn't overpower the overall gray and green vibe. We've got the gray and green happening here as well. So it's really going to feel, I think, like it's all working. I think the trick is going to be to maybe find another too tall crop to work in here so it's not all wheat. We might want to try something else. I don't know what else we could try. Peonies are going to be a weird green. Maybe we'll do lilacs again. Maybe rose bushes, but again, like it's not. Maybe we'll have to do something like this where we'll do like we'll have to make up our own crop. Maybe we'll have to do something like that. I wouldn't mind bringing in some beetroot, but those are kind of bright as well. Maybe we'll do some potatoes. I don't know. I find that the brighter crops are usually better in like little organized patches. Except for the pumpkin. But this was a lot of work. Like a lot of work. It looks good, but it was a lot of work. So I don't know if I want to return to that just yet. It's a fairly large bed of carrots. That's something else we could do too, is having some of these bushes drop down. So like in places where I want there to be texture. Here's a good example. Although maybe not that one. And maybe not the jungle. This is where we may have to go with something like acacia. Yeah. Whoops. Oh, thanks, Otter. I'm really glad that they like what I'm up to. That's awesome. Right on. Well, I think we did all right. You know, like you can see the planning stages of what this is, and the first phase of dumping in all the wheat, and then coming back through and basically like removing a lot of it and kind of replacing it with what would be overgrowing it. But I think that's communicating what I want. I may want to move some of these bushes around. I feel like having a couple of bushes lined up like that, dead bushes specifically, the brown ones. I think I might want to switch that around maybe. So it's not quite so obvious. But we can work with that. There's obviously a cave under here somewhere. Anyway, I am going to pass you along to somebody else playing Minecraft. Let me just refresh my feed here and see what's up. Hey, look, someone who I just mentioned earlier, Exumavoid, is playing on Hermitcraft. So we will send y'all over there. I will be back tomorrow. So that's Saturday. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I will be back tomorrow, but it will be later in the day. Tomorrow's my mom's birthday, so we're going to brunch. So 1 o'clock will not be when I start. Keep an eye on Twitter and in the Discord. It'll be probably closer to 2 or 3 p.m. for a stream, provided I can get one going. But it should be okay. So look for me here again tomorrow around 2 or 3 o'clock Atlantic. That's UTC minus 4 hours. Thanks ever so much for the mod help today, Sandy. Really appreciate it. Hope everyone had a good time. Welcome to the newcomers that came in today. Thanks for the follows. If you subbed today, thank you ever so much. We are pushing towards that plus goal. We are now 13 out of 100 points, and we have the rest of January to get to 100. It's just a tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 sub. They all go towards those points, and it does help me towards a new streaming goal, which would be a higher revenue split between myself and Twitch for a full 12 months if we can keep that 100 average up for the next 3 months. So I truly, truly appreciate it. If Twitch isn't your bag, you can also check out patreon.com/JoelDuggan. That is one of the best ways to support me and your favorite streamers. Most of us have Patreons. It usually ends up being access to the Discord, which is how mine works as well. And I will, of course, be keeping everybody up to date on the Discord as to new streams, new podcasts, all that kind of stuff. There's a new episode of the Spawn Chunks coming out on Monday. That is, of course, going to be talking about the latest snapshot with leaf litter and wildflowers and new sounds for iron, as well as new pigs. So lots of new stuff to talk about. The Citadel Cafe is going to record new next week. I believe we're going to be talking about a Mario 3 documentary. So that is on the docket for that show. And beyond that, check out this channel, twitch.tv/JoelDuggan or Joel Duggan VODs on YouTube for all of the content that I stream, as well as new games. We've been playing Stardew Valley, and we're looking at some other new games coming out in the next little while. So keep an eye on that. Thanks ever so much, folks. I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully. Cross your fingers. And bye for now.